Our learning targets for today, I can define parallel and inscribed. Don't forget to use your vocabulary packet that we've been working with to help you with your definitions. Second learning target, I can make formal geometric constructions using a compass and a straight edge. Here are the constructions we're going to complete today. We're going to construct a line perpendicular to a line through a point on the line, and then we're going to construct a line perpendicular to a line through a point off the line. Our next construction, we're going to construct a line parallel to a line through a given point. And our final construction today, we're going to construct an equilateral triangle inscribed in a circle. So let's begin with our first construction. Construction 6. We're going to construct a perpendicular to a given line through a given point on the line. We're given point P. It's on line AB. We're going to construct a line through point P perpendicular to line AB. Step 1, with P as our center and any convenient radius. So we can use any compass setting we'd like as long as we draw an arc that intersects the line twice. Now you can draw your arc above the line or below the line. I chose to draw mine above the line. And we said that the arc intersects line AB at points C and D. So I'm going to call this C. This is going to be D. With C and D as centers and with a radius greater in length than the one that we just used. So I'm going to make this radius a little bit bigger than the one that we just used. We're going to draw arcs that intersect at point E. So we're going to go to point C first. We're going to create an arc using point C as our center. Then we're going to go to point D, use point D as our center. We're going to create another arc that intersects the arc that we just made. And we said the intersection point was E. Final step, we're going to draw a line EP, which is going to be our line that's perpendicular to line AB, and that passes through point P. So with your straight edge, now remember, if the line is perpendicular, we're going to have right angles formed here. So if you want, you can mark off your right angles. Our conclusion, line EP, is perpendicular to line AB at point P. On your own, I want you to think about the two questions below. It says, how would you construct a 90-degree angle? Or how would you construct a 45-degree angle? So think about that on your own. Okay, on to construction 7. Pretty much the same thing here, except the only difference will be that we're constructing a line perpendicular to line AB, but it passes through point P, which is not on line AB this time. The point is off of the line. The steps are pretty much the same. So what's given? Point P is not on line AB. We're going to construct a line through P that's perpendicular to line AB. So again, it's going to look like this in the end. The only difference again is that the point is not on the line like it was for the last construction. Step 1, we're going to put the compass point at P. We're going to construct an arc that intersects a line AB at points C and D, just like we did the first time. Compass point at P. Create an arc that intersects that line twice. Now we're going to call this C, we're going to call this D. We're finished with step 1. Step 2, choose a radius greater than half the length of CD. So basically it's the same thing as what we just did. We're just going to use a radius length that's greater than the one that we just used to make this original arc. So here's my setting. I'm going to make it a little bit wider. Put the compass point on C and construct an arc below C. Using the same setting, do the same thing from D. Your two arcs should now intersect. Label the points of intersection of the two arcs E. Final step, we're going to draw line EP, which is going to be a line perpendicular to AB, passing through point P. Conclusion, your line that you just constructed is perpendicular to line AB. So again, if you want, you can mark off the right angles. You don't have to do this. This is just showing that the two lines are perpendicular. Construction 8. We're going to construct a line parallel to a line through a given point. So remember what parallel means. Parallel means lines that do not intersect. They look like this. The symbol for parallel that we use almost looks like the number 11. So for example, if this was line AB and this was line CD, we could write the notation like this. Line AB is parallel to line CD. Step 1, draw a line through P that intersects AB at Q and label the line L. So I'm drawing my line through P. It's going to intersect line AB at Q. I'm going to call this Q. We're going to label the new line L. So I'm going to put the L up here. Step 2. Construct an angle with vertex P that is congruent to angle PQB. This goes back to construction 2. We're going to follow the steps to construct a congruent angle to this original angle that we just formed. So we have an angle here. We're going to construct a congruent angle to this using P as our vertex. First step, use any compass setting, place the compass point at Q and draw an arc that intersects ray QB and ray QP at X and Y. Compass point at Q. Any radius setting that you'd like or compass setting that you'd like, but hold the compass setting. So we said that the arc intersects QB at X and intersects QP at Y. Using the same compass setting, place the point on P and draw an arc, call it WT, that intersects line L at T. So same compass setting we just used for our original arc. We're going to go to point P. We're going to make the same arc. Now, you may have to extend your line. I do. And remember what this arrow means. It means that the line extends indefinitely in both directions. So I'm just going to extend this up a little bit. Okay, and now we're going to label. We're going to call that arc WT. And we said that the arc is going to intersect line L at T. So I'm going to call that T. This is going to be arc WT. Next step, adjust the compass length to XY. So remember how to measure XY, compass point on X, pencil point on Y. Use that setting, place the compass point on T and construct an arc that intersects arc WT at R. So I'm putting my compass point on T. I'm using this length from X to Y, flip it over, compass point on T, create an arc that intersects arc TW. So we're going to put a point here at the point of intersection. And we said to call that point R. I'm going to put the R over here. Final step, draw line PR. So using your straight edge from P through R. And we've just constructed a line called PR that's parallel to line AB. Now you're going to notice this in upcoming lessons. To mark off parallel lines on the diagram, we use arrows. So that tells us that these two lines in fact are parallel. Now remember what we said. This original angle is congruent to this angle right here. And if you recall from algebra, there's a name for this pair of angles and they're called corresponding angles. And corresponding angles, in fact, are congruent. Final construction for the day, construction 9. We're going to deal with inscribed in construction 9, and from your vocabulary packet, inscribed means something drawn inside of something else. So here's an example. We have a triangle that's inscribed in a circle. The triangle's drawn inside the circle, and notice that the vertices of the triangle must lie on the circumference or the edge of the circle. That's what makes this triangle inscribed. So we're going to follow the steps. So we're going to construct an equilateral triangle inside a circle. So it's going to look like this in the end. Place your compass point on your paper and draw a circle. Compass point. Now, it doesn't matter how big or how small your circle is. We want to place a dot, and we're going to call it A, anywhere we want on the circumference of the circle. Before we do that, I want to actually put our center point. So here's our center point. Now, step 2, we're going to put A somewhere on the circle. Here it is. Anywhere you want on the circumference. It doesn't have to be here. It can be anywhere on the circumference. Step 3, without changing the span of the compass. So we're using our original compass setting, our original radius. We're going to put the compass point on A and swing a small arc crossing the circumference of the circle. Compass point on A, make a small arc that crosses the circumference of the circle. Step 4, it says continue doing the same thing from each of those intersection points with the arc. So shift it over to here. At your intersection point, you're going to make another arc. Go down to this intersection point, make another arc. This intersection point, make another arc. This intersection point, make another arc. So if you notice, you should have 6 intersection points on the circumference. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've already completed down to step 5. Step 6, starting at A, connect every other arc on the circle to form the equilateral triangle. I'm going to start at A. I'm going to connect it to every other intersection point. So I'm going to skip this because I'm going every other with my straight edge. I'm going to skip this guy right here. Finally, I'm going to skip this guy again. I'm going to go right up here. Now, remember the facts that we know about an equilateral triangle. All 3 sides are equal. Hash mark, hash mark, hash mark. All 3 angles are equal. arc, arc, and arc.